Hey friends, welcome back for another What's for Dinner video. My name is Courtney and my channel is This Homemade Life in case you're new. If you love grocery hauls and fun food content, then you are in the right place. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and smash that like button. So every single Sunday I post one of these. It's a What's for Dinner video. Sometimes it has a bunch of recipes and sometimes it doesn't. Just kind of depends on how my week goes, and this week was a little busy. One of my kids has gotten sick, so we had doctor's appointments and stuff like that. So I ended up getting Domino's pizza for dinner one night as it was. So I think I only have a total of like 3 meals or 3 different days worth of food to share with you guys. But one of those, I think I showed like a couple of different marinades and stuff like that. So anyway, the meals were all fantastic this week. I really loved the pasta. I was a little nervous about it. I always am when I try new pasta dishes that have like sausage and stuff in them. But it turns out it was so good. My husband will tell you that the meat that we grilled over the weekend, the Korean beef, was his absolute favorite. And we had a ton of leftovers, so what we actually ended up doing was eating the beef and the chicken together with the green sauce and the rice. We even stopped and got some tortillas one night. The Korean beef, while it had a bit of a Korean taste to it, it could have gone, with a little bit of a Latin flair too. It worked either way. The green sauce for the chicken, the Peruvian chicken, was the thing. That was so good. I'm going to be playing with that recipe because I think I would like to do it without maybe the yogurt or without the mayonnaise. I don't know. It was still good, but I think I'd like it a little, less dairy-ish. Anyway, take a look at all these recipes. Let me know what you think down below in the comments. And again, if you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe to the channel and smash the like button. All right, friends, it is time to start marinating our Korean barbecue beef. I will be linking this recipe down below to share with you guys. The marinade looks really simple, so we're gonna start off with, I've got my sirloin steaks in a bag. It calls for 1.5 pounds. I have more like 2.5 pounds. That's just what was at my store. So I'm gonna just kind of do a heavy pour on all the ingredients, I think. First off, I'm going to add in 1/2 cup of soy sauce. Next, we're going to add in some rice vinegar. This recipe calls for 1/2 cup of rice vinegar. So I'm going to finish off this bottle and then open a new one. There we go. It also calls for 2 tablespoons of brown sugar. Two tablespoons of minced garlic. 1.5 teaspoons of sesame oil, which is probably about all I have left. Definitely need to get this on my grocery list for next week. And then finally, this calls for 1 teaspoon of sriracha, but in place of sriracha, I'm going to use this stuff because we love it. It has a fantastic flavor. It is so good. I want to make sure that I get chunks of the pepper and the garlic and everything in there as well. Has a little bit of the oil. I'm just going to dump all that right in there. If you guys have not tried this, oh my gosh, you're missing out. It is so absolutely delicious. I get it at Walmart. It is a little expensive, but a little goes a long way. So this little jar will get you through a lot of meals. Okay, now that all my ingredients are in here, I just want to mix really well and make sure that the sugar especially is incorporated into the liquids. Okay, everything looks like it's mixed really well. This smells incredible. I love Asian food. I just absolutely love it. I'm looking forward to trying this recipe. My husband's actually going to grill these. So for the recipe, they get cut into kebabs, but I decided I didn't want to do that. I've just opted to cook the sirloin steaks whole like this, and then I'm going to thinly slice them and serve them with rice and like, I don't remember if I was going to do egg rolls or pot stickers, but something like that. Let's see, pot stickers and broccoli. So that will be what we eat today. And I'm so looking forward to it. It's going to be delicious. But for now, I'm going to go ahead and pour this marinade in with the steak. And it says you can let it marinate anywhere from 1 to 8 hours. It's 8 o'clock in the morning right now, and we typically have like late lunches on Saturdays. So I think we'll probably have this, I don't know, around 1-ish, maybe 2, something like that. So I'll just pop this in the fridge and let it do its thing and get all delicious. All right, so it is Friday night at my house, and my husband will be firing up the grill tomorrow because it's Saturday. He's actually going to grill 2 of these meals at once for me because Sunday we're busy, and it just makes it easier to have the meal like prepped as much as I can. So we're going to start off with the Peruvian chicken. You need some cumin and some paprika. I'm using smoked. You guys know how I roll. The marinade calls for oregano, which I don't have, but I have Italian seasoning, and I mean, close enough. It'll be okay. Lime juice. We're gonna need, it says 5 cloves of garlic. We're working with this stuff. I've got some olive oil, some soy sauce, and some black pepper. And it says we're just supposed to blend everything up, which I'm not doing because the only solid thing is my minced garlic and I'm not worried about it. But blend it all up and then you marinate your chicken in it, and that's how you make Peruvian chicken. Tomorrow we'll be making a green sauce to go on top, which I'm super stoked about. And tomorrow morning, I will marinate the Korean beef. That's the other thing he's going to cook on the grill. But it only needs like 1 to 8 hours. So I'm just going to do it when I wake up in the morning. I think that will probably be easier. But for now, let's mix all these ingredients together and make our marinade. All right, 1 tablespoon of olive oil. I'm going to go just a little bit heavy on that. And then, like I said, it calls for 5 cloves of garlic. So I'm going to do like 1 to 2 heaping spoons. And by spoons, it's a kiddie spoon, so it's really not that heaping. Anyway, I'll probably do 2 of these. Yum. Okay, it says 1/3 cup of soy sauce. Pour that right on in. That looks pretty good. 2 tablespoons of lime juice. You could use your own limes, or you can just cheat and buy this stuff like I do. I actually have some limes in my fridge, but it's late and we're not juicing this today. We'll juice them for another dinner. I actually had them for a different dinner. Okay, we need, let's see, 2 teaspoons of cumin, which seems like a lot. I mean, cumin's necessary, but I'm not the biggest fan, but I'm gonna go for it. 2 teaspoons. That's about 2. Then it says 1 teaspoon of paprika, and again, I'm using smoked. I don't think it's gonna hurt because we're grilling this anyway, so it's gonna be delicious. There we go. Then oregano, 1/2 teaspoon of oregano. And again, I'm using Italian seasoning. If you have oregano, just use that, but I keep this, and this is what I'm using. It says 1/2 teaspoon, so meh. I probably went a little over, and that's okay. And then finally, pepper. Okay, the smells from this bag, this is a powerful marinade. I smell all the ingredients, but it smells really good. And then this is for 2 pounds of chicken thighs. So I'm gonna go get my chicken and place it in this bag now that it's all mixed together. All right, 2 pounds of chicken. I have 2.21, close enough for me. This is what I have. I just have, hopefully it's, yeah, boneless, skinless. I was gonna say, I know there's no skin, but hopefully there's no bones. All right, I'm just going to try to get most of the air out of this and then seal it and kind of just mash it around so the marinade gets all over the chicken. not a lot of marinade. I will say, like, you're not gonna waste much on the ingredients. There's not a ton of marinade, just enough for the chicken. All right, we're good to go. I'm gonna put this in the fridge. And when I get up in the morning, I'm gonna put it like this. When I get up, I will flip it over just to make sure that everybody gets soaked in the good stuff. All right, it's time to make the green sauce that goes with our Peruvian chicken. I will link this recipe down below. It has the marinade for the chicken and the green sauce. So for the sauce, we need 3 jalapenos, which looks really sad at my store. So we are going with 2 poblanos. They offer a great flavor. Sometimes they're hot, sometimes they're not, but the flavor is on point. Some cilantro, which I have right here. A couple of green onions. I'm going to cut the tips off and rinse them before we put them in the food processor. It also calls for a couple of cloves of garlic. You guys know I like this stuff. Also calls for mayonnaise, which I have right here, and some Greek yogurt. And then I've got some lime juice back here and some olive oil. So basically we're gonna kind of just put all this stuff with a little bit of cracked black pepper too, all this stuff in the food processor and just kind of whir it up and make it all sauce-like. So here we go. All right, it is time to cook dinner tonight, and we are having creamy roasted butternut squash pasta with sausage and spinach. There is the picture. Looks good, doesn't it? So the first thing we need to do is roast our butternut squash in the oven. I bought mine pre-chopped at Walmart. So I'm gonna put it in this bowl, and we're gonna mix it with some olive oil and a little bit of salt and pepper, and then we put it on a baking sheet and bake it at 400 degrees. It says for 30 minutes. But I feel like 30 minutes is a long time, so I'm gonna keep an eye on it because I really feel like I might be able to do it in less time, which would be great because I didn't read the instructions for the recipe first, and I didn't know I had to start off by doing that. Anyway, I'm gonna put this on a cooking sheet and get it baking. Okay, while our butternut squash is in the oven, we're gonna go ahead and cook half a pound of, it says Italian sausage. My family does not like Italian sausage, so I'm just using breakfast sausage, like Jimmy Dean, something like that, ground sausage. It's pretty similar in taste, but it's not, in my opinion, it's not quite as strong. The Italian sausage has a very strong flavor. This is a little milder, and that is what we like. You can always use like spicy or something. I just got the regular, so that'll be fine too. Go ahead and cook this down and crumble it. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and cook the pasta. I'm just using this because I actually have it left over from that grocery budget challenge. If you watched it, I only did a half serving or a half recipe size when I made the dish with this, so I'm gonna use the other half now to make our dinner tonight. I did go ahead and pull the butternut squash out. It's nicely roasted. It smells delicious. So I've just set it off to the side. And now we're gonna get started on our sauce. It's a pretty basic recipe. It shouldn't be too hard. Okay, so I'm heating up my skillet here, and we are gonna add in a couple of tablespoons of, or 1 tablespoon of olive oil. And then the recipe called for 4 cloves of garlic minced. I had 2 cloves that were pretty good size, and I just sliced them up. Yes, I am using fresh garlic. Again, if you watched last week's Extreme Grocery Budget Challenge, I did buy an entire head of garlic, and it was a good size head of garlic too. So I'm going to be using that up this week because I don't want it to go bad. Waste not, want not, so we're going to use it all. Go ahead and dump the garlic right into the skillet. There we go. One more. We're just going to kind of let that heat through just a little bit, and then we're going to go ahead and start adding in some other ingredients. All right, I'm going to start putting in some fresh spinach. I just have a container of spinach I bought at the store and washed. I've been using it for sandwiches and wraps, so I'm going to add in about half of this. It's one of those clear square containers you buy at your grocery store. So in total, that was probably 2 to 3 cups of spinach. I didn't chop it or anything. It wilts down, and I think that's plenty. But if you want to, you could always chop yours, or you could always use frozen if you want. I don't see why not. Just thaw it out in the microwave, wring it out by hand before you add it in the skillet with the spinach or the garlic, and let it just saute for a couple of minutes just to kind of soak up some of that delicious garlicky flavor. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and add in some fresh cracked black pepper. This is not part of the recipe. I'm just doing this on my own because we really like the flavor. And this gives it a minute to toast, and that makes it taste even better. All right, this is looking really nice. The spinach is wilting down nicely. So we're going to talk about our next ingredients. Let's see, some heavy cream. The recipe calls for 1 cup of heavy cream. I'm just going to eyeball it. You guys know how I am. I just have Walmart brand. That's probably a little more than 1 cup, but I think I'm going to need a little more than 1 cup. And then the recipe also calls for Parmesan cheese. Let's see, 1/3 cup of shredded Parmesan cheese. We're going to go ahead and throw that in now. I'm just using this stuff. This is not my favorite shredded Parmesan cheese, but it is what I have. So this is what we're using. And again, the recipe calls for 1/3 cup. I might go a little heavy because I did go heavy on the heavy cream. I'm going to turn the heat down because I don't like how high the boil is on that. I don't want to scald it. I just want to kind of reduce it a bit. All right, and again, that's tightening up a lot more than I would like, so I'm going to do just a little more heavy cream. And we're just going to keep stirring so the Parmesan cheese melts into it. I'm going to add a little more pepper. I just feel like I want it by looking at it. Again, sometimes you just got to season with your heart. I know what my family likes. I know the flavors we enjoy. If you really like some spice, feel free to add in some red pepper flakes. That would probably be incredibly delicious in here. I'm just going to stick with my cracked black pepper because I know how much my husband loves that. All right, y'all, we're going off script. I just feel like, is this going to focus? Maybe, possibly. There we go. I feel like this is going to be a really good addition. I think I'm like getting all the fall feels a little early here. This is definitely a fall kind of dish, but I'm going to just sprinkle maybe a 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg in here. I think it's going to be really, really great. All right, the noodles are almost done. We're going to go ahead and add our sausage back in. I just drained it in this bowl with a paper towel. I'm going to stir that in, and then we're going to go ahead and add in our butternut squash, and I'm kind of feeling like that's a lot of butternut squash, so I'm going to add it a little bit at a time because I don't want it to be too much of one ingredient and not enough of the others. right, guys, that does it for this week's What's for Dinner video. I hope you liked all these meals. My family certainly did. We really enjoyed every single one of them. I have some great stuff coming up for next week as well. And I hope you guys are going to stick around and see that video. Like I said, every Sunday. If you're new, every Sunday I put one of these videos out. Also, if you're not already, check me out over on Instagram. I've been trying to get a lot more active over there. So I hope to see you there. All right, guys, have a fantastic week, and I will see you Tuesday with my grocery haul. Bye.